Hello everyone, welcome back. Season 11 is fast approaching, but today I wanted to focus beyond that on Year 5 Season 1. Massive have a massive task ahead of them. Year 5 development is underway, and today I wanted to talk about a very controversial topic, possible change coming with Year 5, and this is something that has previously come up in leaks. Drop a like, subscribe, and let's begin. So first off, this isn't a leak video by any means. If you're not looking for spoilers, this isn't one of those type of videos where you have to go away, so you don't have to worry about that. Some of you may already remember this, but some time ago there was this Reddit thread talking about Season 4 and the seasons, and it basically said we'd be getting a level 40 increase. Now, I made a video on this, and quite obviously this was very controversial. With Year 5 due within the next kind of 6 months or so and development underway, I actually think we need to talk about why a level increase would not be a good idea, and a possible solution to the very real possibility that seasons in Year 5 follow the exact same formula with gear as they've always done since their inception. Now, I can't remember if it was Trick Dempsey or Yannick who confirmed the level increase won't be coming for Year 4, but after making my video some time ago, I think the overall view was this was not what the majority wanted. I, however, in that video, had always been someone who enjoyed regrinding gear. I can't remember if I actually advocated for an increase or not. I just basically said, look, I wouldn't mind if we had one. Now, it's obviously been a long time since then, and whilst that part of me hasn't changed, I've come to realise just how pointless a level increase would be, and how it adds no value to the game. Ask any Destiny player who has had to deal with a power level increase season on season for many, many years, and they will tell you just how redundant that system is. And all that is basically a power level increase for every season. All it does is give players something to do for no reason whatsoever. And this is why there was no level increase for Season 4. And I wanted to make this video just in case Massive were considering a level increase for Year 5. Just no, thank you very much. Whilst it's always been something I enjoy doing, and there will be some players who do enjoy regrinding or refinding their weapons with just a new kind of shiny level 40 number on it, that is not something we need here, or something I feel really has any benefits in any game that I can think of. If you disagree with me, I'd love to hear your opinion in the comments down below. With all of that said, what concerns me is we go into Year 5 Season 1, we get some new named items, new high-ends, new talents, some new exotics, as we've always done with every season before, and that's it for the new items in the game. Now, some people would advocate that a level increase would give a reason for players to play beyond these new items, but my solution is, and it's not innovative at all, and it's fairly simple really, it's just a new tier of items. Again, something I've talked about before, but I really feel like now, more than ever, a new tier needs to be added with Year 5. I think this will add a fresh new layer to the game. Getting new high-ends, new exotics, new gear sets is great and all, but we had all of that stuff back in the Division. It's been, 7 years now? And we're getting the same sort of items with each new season that we had back in the Division 1. It's become very stale in my opinion, but I think a fresh new tier of items might be a good way to freshen the game up going from the start of a new year, Year 5. I think this layer should be above high ends. What colour they end up choosing for this new tier, I don't mind, so long as it's not like, I don't know, bright pink or something like that, but maybe a dark purple, I don't know, anything really. And I think these items, they should be rare. I think they should probably be more rare than exotic items, in my opinion. The more rare, the better, really, so long as they're obtainable, of course. Now, who remembers back to the Division when it first came out? Do you remember how rare some of those exotics were? Does anyone remember how good and rare the high-end Midas was. I remember when these items dropped, it was like, it was like the Galahorn drop moment in Destiny, where you'd have screaming people, basically. We don't have anything like this in the Division 2. Exotics are deliberately created to be built around, and don't really have that kind of wow moment. The only weapon that I can think of that comes even close to that is the Eagle Bearer. And that's because it's a really great weapon, it looks really cool, it's tied to the Dark Hours raid, and even if you manage to get through the Dark Hours raid, it's actually really hard to get for a lot of people. I don't want this new tier to kind of break the game, no one does, but there's been very few items that have come in the game and they've had a big impact. They're items that everyone kind of wants. Fox's Prayers is still top tier in a lot of damage builds, along with Contractor Gloves. You've got your old items that have been there since day one that are still considered meta for a lot of builds, but nothing really has come in and had a real big splash. And I think a new tier, would have that effect. I think a lot of people would come back and play the game for that. I think this will be a good solution to the staleness I can foresee. And of course, it's not a level increase. This will be a genuine attempt to give players something new to chase that actually gives them some value. Let me know what you think about that in the comments down below. Is this something that you would like to see? Or do you have a different idea to this? I think it's safe to assume that a level increase is not something the majority of the player base would want. And I think it's easy to see why. As I said, I honestly was thinking about this for a little while. Is there any reason why? Is there anything that a level increase adds to a game? What value does it add to the game? The only thing I can think of, guys, is it's got nothing to do with players, actually. It's more to do with, the publishers, whoever creates those games. It just makes people play the game, which looks good from, a publisher kind of standpoint, shareholder standpoint, I imagine, but not actually for the players themselves. That's the only reason I can see why a level increase would be added to most games. Now, I'm confident Massive are not planning a level increase. So, this isn't kind of they're planning a level increase, everyone kind of lose their mind situation. I really don't think we have any worries here, because I feel like if they were going to do a level increase, they would have done it with level 4. Not level 4, with Season 4. So I don't think that's going to happen. But, we've got a new year coming up. We've got Year 5. We've got a new season on the horizon, Season 1 of Year 5. What better opportunity to really kind of shake things up with a new tier system? I don't know what we'd call it, Emerald. I don't even know what you could call it, but this would be a new tier, and it would give players something to grind for. It would be really rare. You could just be playing the game, and then suddenly, bang, it drops, and it's like, wow, what is this? And like I said, don't want it to be game breaking or anything like that, but it obviously needs to be something that players want to get. So they need to be really unique items, and they also need to have a bit of power to them, of course, because at the end of the day, this is a loot shooter, right? People want stuff that looks good, of course, but ultimately what people want are items that are going to make them feel powerful. So they do need to be powerful items, of course. That's it for today's video. If there's any topics that you want me to give an opinion on, any news or anything really, just send me a message on Twitter @EpicSlayers. Thank you very much for watching, and until the next one, Epic out.